So good morning all. Today we are going to discuss programs using functions. Three programs that we are discussing. First, find the factorial of a number using function, sum of three numbers using function, and find the largest among three numbers using function, and use conditional operator to find the largest among three numbers. So first is factorial of a number using function. So first void main, within void main int n comma f, printf enter the number, scanf %d ampersand n. Next what we have to do is we have to find out the factorial of a number. So call the function fact here. Here I am using fact. You can use any function name, factorial, fact, f, any function name you can use. So here I use fact of n. So what will happen is the control is transferred to here. Here the control is transferred to here, int fact of within brackets int x. So here the value of n is passed to x. Suppose if I enter n equal to 5, the value of x becomes 5. So within this function, I wrote the statements for calculating the factorial of a number. So for I equal to 1, I less than or equal to x here. So that is the value of n is passed to x. So here I wrote x, I plus f equal f into I. So till I less than or equal to x, I will calculate the value of x. So after calculating the factorial, the value of factorial is stored in f. So return f. Return f means the value of factorial is returned to the main function and it is stored in f. So the value of factorial is printed here. F equal printf %d f. So here n is called the actual argument. The variables that is used inside the function call in void main is called the actual argument, and the value of actual argument is transferred to here, and here x is called the formal argument. The variables that is used here is the formal here and here. Function prototype also it is formal argument. This is the actual argument. So in order to use this function this function must have a prototype, and we can write the prototype like this: int fact of within brackets int x or int n, any variable you can use, or we can return int fact of int. Without specifying the variable, we can write int fact of int or int fact of within brackets int x. Here the value of variable is returning. So the function function definition and the function prototype must specify the return data type. So here return data type is int. So return data type is int here and int here. So that's about the factor of a number using function. Void main int n comma f, printf enter the number, scanf %d ampersand n. Read the number and call the factorial function. The control is transferred to here. In this function, the factorial of the number is calculated. After calculating the factorial, the value of factorial is returned to here. The value of factorial is stored in f and which is printed. So next is the same function, that is without using return. The same program without using return function. Here read the value of n, then call the function fact of n only. So the control is transferred to here, void fact of int n. So here the same variable is used. In the previous case I used x. So any variable can be used. So inside this function the factor is calculated for I equal to 1, I less than or equal to n, I plus plus fact equal fact into I. Printf factorial of equal percentage d f. Less than or equal to. Here we need less than or equal to. Less than or equal to is needed. Here also less than or equal to x. Hope you know how to calculate the factorial of a number. Next, sum of three numbers using function. It's a simple void main, read the three numbers, then inside this void main call the function sum. Any function name you can use. Void sum, int a, int b, int c. Inside this function calculate the sum and print the value. Here we are not returning any value of sum, so here I printed the value of sum in the function call itself, function definition itself. So the function prototype should be like this: void sum int int int. Now you can write int a, int b, int c. It's a simple. Next is largest among three number using conditional operator. Here void main, read the three numbers. Here I use the function large of a comma b comma c. So when we saw this function call, the control is transferred to here. So int, here I wrote the function as return. Here the function returns some value, so L equal large of a comma b comma c. So there should be a return type int large of int a, int b, int c. So I wrote the statement that is used to find the largest among three numbers using conditional operator. Return of, you already know, a greater than b. If so, a greater than c. If so, a is larger or c is larger, or b greater than c is jet. If so, b is greater or c is greater. So this function, this comparison return a value to here in L. So we print the value of L is the largest number. So next is a homework that is used to find the used to check whether a number is prime or not, or check whether a number is prime. The same thing we studied. Instead we have to use a function here. You can use any function. Here I wrote the program that the function returns some value. So you can write a function that does not return a value, or you can write a function that returns a value. So here I use the function prime of n. So the control is transferred to here in this function. In this function we check whether the number is prime or not. After that means we count the number of factors. If this function return the count, if the count is 2, number is prime. It is not equal to 2, the number is not prime. The same logic. Instead I use the function here. Next we have to write a program to check whether a number is Armstrong or not using functions. Okay, hope you understand this program, how to write programs using functions.